Hey guys, I'm Manali Jamal. I'm an acoustic guitar player from Canada, and today I want to give you guys a little bit of a free lesson on my latest song called Kora. So the tuning here from the lowest string to the highest string is D sharp, G sharp, D sharp, G, G sharp, D sharp. This is a tuning that I also use for another song of mine called Javoon. So Javoon and Kora, both of these songs have the same exact tuning. So it should sound like this. Nice and beautiful. All right, so the very first part of the song is all harmonics on the 12th fret. And the way I'm doing this, I'm using my first finger basically hovering over the 12th fret. And so when we play this, we will get some nice harmonics. So the first thing is, so we got thumb and ring finger on strings 6 and 2, followed by thumb again, and then we're going to use first and second finger on the right hand on strings 3 and 4. So we have this. Basically, if you want to finish that bar, all we have to do is just play another thumb right after that. So the whole bar should sound like this now. Pretty easy so far, right? The next step is we're going to do a little bit of a slap with the thumb. And the way I'm doing this, the thumb is just going to land right on that 6th string, that low D sharp there, and just stay there, plant it there. It's very important that you plant it there because the next move that we're going to do is we're going to pluck it out afterwards. So you might as well keep it there. So the second bar now goes like this. We have a slap, thumb, then we have the index and the D string, middle finger and the G string. Then we have thumb again and then index finger on that D string. So this bar sounds like this now. When you piece both of those parts together, we have this now. And so forth. Now, the third bar is actually the exact same thing as the first bar. And same with the fourth, so it's basically a pattern. Once you memorize these two bars, you can basically loop it. And with this section here, we stop actually on a downbeat with a slap. So let me play this part really slowly for you guys. All right, so now we start the melody that goes while you're playing those harmonics. Now, this can be a little bit tricky, but if you just take it really slowly, you're going to be able to get this, I think, pretty smoothly. And it really sounds nice because then you really create this illusion that there's 2 or 3 different guitars going on there. So the first thing we'll do here is that we're going to use our thumb just to strum everything on the 12th fret harmonic plus the pinky finger on the 16th fret. Okay, so I guess Tico wants to join me here. So this is what we'll do is we're going to strum that. We get a really nice chord there. And as we're doing this, we're going to go right back to what we learned before, which is thumb, index and middle, thumb. So we have... Right, so it's the exact same pattern that we knew before. We're just adding that first chord with the high 16th fret there on the first string. So now we've got this. Now we're going to go into the next part of the melody, which is now moving that second finger on the 14th fret, harmonic on the G string, 16th fret B string, harmonic again, and then 14th fret. So now this part should sound like this. Now let me play this whole section once again, just up to where we stopped here, so you can see the flow of this melody, okay? So really slowly. So with the next step now, we're going to introduce more notes that are resonating while we're playing sort of a bass line. So as we're doing this, we're going to play slap, then 6th string, string 3, string 2. I'm using 10th fret and 12th fret here. So then we go into the next section. Now this part, we're going to play another chord. So I'm playing my first finger on the 9th fret here on the low 6th string, pinky finger, 11th fret on the 2nd string. So now we have... Now what I'm doing there, I really love to do this sort of thing where you're doing a hammer-on pull-off with that index finger to create this sort of groove that's kind of constantly in the back. Now in this section, I'm basically going to play a slap on that low 6th string. I'm going to play 9 again on that low 6th string, 11. Now at this point, we're going to do a pluck that 9th fret and do a pull-off hammer-on. So this bar really slowly sounds like this now. So at this next section here, after we do this little pull-off hammer-on, I'm going to pluck that high E string, the high 1st string, and as I'm doing this, I'm going to now pull off again with that index finger, and then hammer on, and then pluck the 5th string. So now we have this. Now I'm switching the fingers here. The 3rd finger is going to go to the 11th fret on the 4th string, and then the middle finger is going to go on the 10th fret of that 3rd string. Okay, now at this point, I'm going to slide it to the 5th fret. Right, and as soon as I get there, I'm going to move my positioning of my hand and my 1st finger on that 5th fret, and my pinky finger on the 7th fret of that 2nd string. And then the middle finger will stay on that 3rd string on the 5th fret. So this is the next chord. And with this now we have, with the open D string here, then another slap here. I'm going to pluck that same string again with the thumb. Now we have open D string. Now I'm going to pluck that 5th fret again and hammer on, pull off. Now notice that I'm doing some palm muting here. Whenever I'm doing these sort of hammer on and pull off things, I tend to like to palm mute them to create this sort of bass line, right? But this is just a more effective way I find to get the melody to sing, to ring out a little bit more as you're doing this. Okay, so let's move on. So now we have, now I'm going to move my 3rd finger to the 5th fret to continue that melody on that high E string. And then again, pull off, hammer on. Now I'm going to pluck the 2nd string, open string, pull off, hammer on. Okay, let's just review that real quick. So now we have. So what's happening here is that when I'm doing this switch, I'm moving my 1st finger to the 2nd fret, and then I'm going to play open B, open 2nd string, then 4th fret here on the 2nd string with the open 5th string. So we have. Now the next part is to move the 1st and 2nd fingers to the 2nd fret on strings 5 and 2 while playing the open 6th string here. Now again, as soon as we get to this point, we're going to play, pull off, hammer on. I'm going to pluck that 3rd string, pull off, hammer on, okay? Just to review those 2 bars, we have this. So now, when I get to the next section, I'm going to do a slap with the thumb, play that open 6th string, pluck the 2nd fret on the 5th string, pull off, play the open 6th string, and then do a hammer on with the 1st finger. So it should sound like this. This is just this bar here. And I'm going to use that pinky finger on that 4th fret of the high E string to continue that melody. So now we have. Notice that I'm still doing that same pattern. So it's basically a pluck with the melody note, and then we're going to do a pull off, hammer on, and then continue that pattern. So it's a pattern of 3, really. If you just remember that, you can kind of more or less get this the spirit of this sort of technique and the melody that's inside here. So at this point, I'm playing thumb, slap, open, 2, 0. Now I'm going to slide my 1st finger to the 6th fret and slide it to the 7th. So it's like this. Now we're going into another slap here into the 6th string. I'm going to pluck that 6th string, play 7, 9 here on the frets, then pull off, hammer on that 5th string. So now we have. And now I'm going to use that pinky finger, 11th fret. Big stretch here, I know. My pinky finger looks a little bit weird here. So at this point, I'm going to pluck that, pull off, hammer on with the 5th string again. I'm going to move that over to the 9th fret, same thing, pull off, hammer on. So now we have this. Again. Now, slap, thumb, index, middle, pull off, hammer on. So this is actually the exact same bar as the one that we just played as before. So now we have this. Now at this point, we're gonna move that ring finger, get rid of that and move the second finger over to the 8th fret to make it a little bit of a minor chord. Again, it's the same pattern here, right? So now instead of playing, now we have that with the minor. So after this, now we have the slap. I'm gonna pluck that 7th fret on the A string, on the 5th string, and then open 3rd string, and now, here's a pretty cool thing because now we're gonna leave those fingers, the middle finger and the pinky finger that are on frets 8 and 9, we're gonna leave those there, but we're gonna use our index finger to kind of touch, just hover over the 7th fret to get those harmonics only while you're pushing down with the other fingers. So now we get this. Kind of a weird sound when you play it slow, but when you do a little bit of a brush, kind of a strum, it sounds really nice. It starts to sound a little bit ambiguous even, and this kind of is nice because for the listener, they might not expect what's coming next, right? Which is the chorus section, the more percussive part. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this first lesson with me today with the introduction to Kora. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or write in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. And in the next video, we're gonna go over the chorus section, which I know a lot of you have been asking me about already. So that's gonna be a little bit of a tricky one because there's a lot of different things moving with both of the hands, but it creates a really cool sound and it's really fun to play. So if you want to check out more of my music, feel free to go to manelijamal.com for more information on that, including Skype lessons. And I've got a lot of other kinds of lessons that I've done in the past. Thank you.